guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here with a brand new thoughts video for all of you guys, and, well, I guess it looks like seeing how Christmas is right around the corner, and, well, I guess that also means 2024 is officially coming to an end pretty soon. Well, it looks like we're down to, of course, not one, but two more movies for me to talk about, so yeah, I guess it's probably been a long time coming as of now, and I know I did promise that I would probably cram in Nosferatu pretty much as an addition in there, but I guess it may seem very unlikely depending on what's going on with me personally, and moreover with everything else that I've got going on to be honest for sure, so I'll probably save Nosferatu for another time, maybe I think sometime later on if I ever do feel the need to finally check it out and possibly do a video on that, so. But nevertheless, we're down to the final two movies as of now for this year, and it looks like I'm in for something really interesting for, of course, these ones we're talking about here today. And yes, by the way, I did manage to do another double feature this time around, much like with what I did last time for sure, and boy, I think it might actually be well worth it in the end for sure, because yeah, this double feature by far is quite interesting for sure, with, believe it or not, one of these movies I'm going to be talking about here today, So yeah, I guess if anything, I do need a little something to cram in, a little something right before Christmas will officially kick itself off for sure, before we can really get ourselves in for something really interesting for sure, especially with right before the new year comes around for sure, so yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front for sure. So with that being said, looks like we're in for another double feature this time around, and I'm here to talk about one of the movies that I actually got to see as a part of that for sure, so yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, on that front for sure, so yeah. And I guess, believe it or not, for today's movie we're going to be talking about, well, it's that time once, yeah, it's that time once again for sure. And I guess if anything, I guess it's no big surprise that we're talking about this one. So, I guess for what it is, I think it's about time that we get ourselves in with, of course, round 3. That's right, round 3 this time of course, pretty much another movie featuring our favorite blue talking hedgehog for sure, so yeah, I guess it looks like I can't escape these for sure, and maybe I think it's probably a good thing for sure, so yeah, I guess with that being said, we might as well get ourselves equipped on with, of course, our running shoes for sure, and of course go for round 3 with our favorite talking blue hedgehog that likes to run really fast and have a really interesting appetite for chili dogs for sure, so yeah. And you know what that means, right? That's right, it looks like we're in for, of course, another round of these movies once again, as we talk about the latest movie that just came out not too long ago, which is none other than Sonic the Hedgehog 3, so yeah. Yep, it's that time of year again, and third time is definitely the charm, so yeah, not only is this the latest film that just came out not too long ago, but it is also the third installment as of now to the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, which alone is, of course, based on the iconic video game of the same name, or at the very least, the Sonic the Hedgehog video game series as a whole, so yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. And yes, by the way, I did get this nice Sonic the Hedgehog themed cup for sure, which contains my water for sure, which is actually intentional. But I am really glad I actually got this. I mean, yeah, look at the way it's designed for sure, with, of course, Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails, and yeah, even on top, has a nice little Sonic on top of it for sure, so So yes, this was intentional, by the way, so bear with me on that, so yeah, you kind of get the idea, so yeah, with that being said, before we could go ahead and talk about this latest movie, I think I might as well give you guys a little recap, of course, my views on Sonic the Hedgehog as a whole, so yeah, again, I think pretty much going all the way back when I did the past couple of thoughts videos for sure, I actually, I never really actually grew up with, of course, Sonic the Hedgehog for sure, let alone play all the video games for sure, but I have heard and know of the character for sure, and he has been a massive staple for a long time, ever since his debut game on the Sega Genesis for sure, so yeah, I guess if anything, my history with Sonic the Hedgehog is very little to say the least, but I actually have heard or at least know a bit of the character for sure, so yeah, that's pretty much what I can say for Sonic the Hedgehog as a whole, but when it comes to the movies as of now, that alone I'm actually quite familiar with because, well, if you have seen my thoughts videos over the years, I have talked about them pretty much a good number of times for sure, but I'll give you guys a little recap on what I thought of pretty much the previous installments for sure. The first Sonic the Hedgehog movie I actually thought was actually really good for sure, and yeah, I mean, sure, it's probably not one of the best I've seen, but I really do like what they were actually going for, and plus, I actually did say numerous times, which has been said by a lot of other people, I'm glad they changed up Sonic's design ever since pretty much Ugly Sonic debuting the first trailer for it, for sure. That alone is what saved the flick for sure, so. But yeah, and of course the rest is what you would imagine for sure. I definitely like the first film for what it is. The second film I definitely thought was equally impressive, and definitely I think, probably I think a really great sequel to a really good movie for sure, to which again, I don't need to explain everything as a whole for sure. If you want to know my initial thoughts on both of them, then go watch my previous two thoughts videos that I did on the first two movies for sure, So yeah, and of course, in case a lot of you guys are wondering, I didn't see the Knuckles spin-off series that came out onto Paramount Plus, but I did hear really good things about it, and I am shooting to maybe check it out and maybe talk about it pretty soon if I'm lucky for sure, but we'll definitely have to wait and see on that, so yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front, even though I never actually pretty much even though I'm not technically a long-time fan of Sonic the Hedgehog for sure, I have played a bit of the games, yeah, only a little bit for sure, and I have known the character quite a bit for sure, but I definitely know the movies as of now is, of course, something I really have actually got myself hooked on to ever since the very beginning for sure. In fact, so much so that oh yeah, and if you may recall when I went to a Retro Game Con pretty much well over a year ago for sure, I actually had the privilege to, well, not only meet Mike Pollock, the voice of Eggman for sure, or as I like to call him in the movies, Dr. Eggbotnik, and yes, I am still calling him that, so don't pretty much don't judge me on that, but it's not just that, but I also had the privilege to officially meet the voice of Tails herself, Kaligo Shagashi, as you can see in these three pictures that I'm showing off right here and then. It's actually such a great time, I'm not gonna lie, so yeah, I guess if anything, if you have known me since the very beginning, I actually did express some pretty good feedback on, of course, the Sonic the Hedgehog movies ever since they came out for sure, So yeah, and of course when I heard the news that they were going to be doing a third film for sure, I got myself really excited to see how they're going to pull this one off for sure, because if anything, I think you could do something really clever with, of course, the idea of it for sure, and actually give us something good, and well, of course, I did manage to take the time to officially go and see this movie as part of my double feature that I did, all thanks to the kind people at Crown City Cinemas, for sure. And from what I actually read online, a lot of people are saying that this movie is not only good, but it's actually really great by far, with many people declaring it as the best of the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, for sure. So yeah, that's actually quite surprising for sure, and given for the fact that I've actually read up some reviews on that, including checking out Rotten Tomatoes, where it's exceeding at over 85% with critics. I mean, just holy crap! That's quite something for sure, but yeah, nevertheless, as part of my double feature, I did manage to take the time to officially go and see this movie for myself, and well, now that I've officially got back from, of course, seeing it, I guess a lot of you guys may be wondering, what do I think of this movie that now that I finally got the chance to see it? Well, I guess if anything, with a lot of people are saying that this movie is definitely the best one by far, they're not lying on that, and I can agree with a lot of people on that for sure. This movie is not only great, but this is just downright amazing for sure. So yeah, I guess the best way I can actually describe this movie is take everything that I really enjoyed about Sonic 2 and then multiply it by 10 for sure. So yeah, that's how great this movie is by far, and yes, I am actually happy to say that this is definitely the best of the Sonic the Hedgehog movies for sure. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alrighty. Alrighty then, so yeah, now that I got the short version out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about everything that I need to talk about for sure. For starters is, of course, the story, and well, I guess I will have to say, story-wise, I really do love on what they were actually going for sure. Everything from what I've actually seen is structured out quite well for sure. I really do love some of the nice and unique ideas they decided to throw into it for sure. Not only keeping true with the spirit of course, pretty much the previous movies that we got before, but also actually pretty much take a whole lot from, of course, the side games for sure, and actually find a way to actually creating a really creative story for, of course, this one, and for that, I really do love on what they actually did, of course, this one. Everything from what I've actually seen is flowed out quite well, and I really do follow through on everything that goes on while the movie is actually playing for sure, and with what I've seen by far, I think they really deliver on that front for sure. They really pulled off something really fantastic by far, and I really do follow through on, of course, all that for sure. And plus, there are even some much more darker moments that I actually never even knew that they were going to cram in for sure, but that too is also done well for sure to help keep flow with, of course, the story. So yeah, either way, I really do love on what they actually did, and the filmmakers are really putting a lot of love and heart to really make this story great. I think they did a fantastic job on that. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. And of course, for the writing, I have to say, well, that too is also pretty well done for sure. I think with, of course, what I'm actually seeing, I do think the writing in this film is actually very well crafted, I have to say, and I really do love, of course, what they actually decided to throw in for sure to really pretty much keep the pretty much the love and the zaniness of course, the previous films, but at the same time actually bringing something new and creative at the same time to really help expand pretty much any form of a variety that they decide to throw in for sure, and I really do love on what they actually did for sure, and yeah, I think it's what I can say, of course, that front, and of course, for one other thing, the comedy, I have to say, yeah, that too is also nicely done for sure. I think the comedy in this film is very nicely creative for sure, with with almost every single joke from what I've actually seen. I actually did get myself a huge laugh for sure, and I really love on what they actually did for sure. It is really well done for sure, and I really do love on what they actually did. So yeah, I guess if anything, that's pretty much what I can say for the story, the writing, and the comedy for sure. I really love on what they were actually going for with, of course, this one. And this film really did an impressive job in, of course, utilizing those very well for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alrighty then, so yeah, now that I've got those out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about the next couple of things I need to talk about, which are, of course, the characters for starters, and yeah, I guess if anything, the characters in, of course, this movie, yeah, I guess there's no doubt in my mind, I think they are developed very well for sure, like, of course, for some of the ones that we all know and love from the previous films, they have actually pretty much, they've really grown a whole lot ever since we last saw them for sure. And I really do love on how well they utilize that quite well, and even some of the new ones, I have to say, are really great additions for sure. I really do love on what they were actually going for with, of course, most of the new characters for sure, and I do applaud the commitment they actually did to make the characters work for sure, and I really love yeah, and I really do love, of course, what they've actually accomplished for sure. They all actually have some really great development. Yeah, they all have some really great development to make them likable and interesting for sure. And I really do admire, of course, what they actually did for sure to really make them exactly that. And that's something I really do love for, of course, this movie for sure. They really made the characters likable and interesting for sure. That I knew hands down is what easily makes them recognizable for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say for the characters for sure. Now, as for the actors that came on board to play out these characters, yeah, there's no doubt in my mind, I think they really pulled off some really great performances for sure. Every single one of them I've seen by far, they really committed themselves to make the characters work, and it's through their performances and their delivery and stuff is what makes them stand out for sure. I love it all the way. Like, of course, I still get a huge laugh seeing Jim Carrey as Dr. Ackleyattack for sure. He is still a massive standout for sure, and of course, pretty much James Marsden, I will have to say, despite not being on screen for so long, I really do still admire his performance for sure. I really do think he really gave it everything he got to making it work for sure. And of course, let's not forget to mention our pretty much our lovable Hedgehog companions for sure. Like, of course, Ben Schwartz as Sonic still stands out in my opinion for sure, and of course, Idris Elba as Knuckles is still absolutely perfect for sure, and I still love it all the way. And oh yeah, even Kalino Shagashi as Tails is still a massive standout for sure. I still love her performance as the adorable fox with two tails for sure that can fly, So yeah, I guess if anything, Schwartz, Elba, and Oshagashi still gave out great performances as the three main companions for sure. But probably the biggest standout by far would definitely have to be Keanu Reeves as Shago. So yeah, I guess if anything, pretty much seeing Keanu Reeves as Shago for sure, that to me is just absolutely perfect for sure. I think Keanu Reeves is very perfectly cast to play Shago for sure, and I guess if anything, his performance for sure is what really makes it stand out in my opinion for sure. It is just absolutely perfect by far, and I really do love on the commitment he actually did to make the character work for sure, and it is just absolutely amazing in its entirety. I love it all the way, so So yeah, and that's just to name me a few for sure. So yeah, I guess if anything, those are what I can say for the characters and the actors, and of course this movie for sure. I really love on what they actually did for sure, and I really do admire the development the characters got to make them likable and interesting, and even the actors pulled off some really great performances for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alright then, so yeah, now that I've actually got those two out of the way, what else is there for me to talk about? Actually, quite a whole lot for sure. For starters, is of course the action for sure, and yeah, I guess there's no doubt in my mind the action in this film is absolutely amazing from what I can gather for sure. Everything from what I've actually seen, from every single fight scene to every single chase scene all together, and that's just to name me a few. I really do love on what they actually did, and just by seeing that on screen, I'm always pumped up for sure to really get myself in for something really great for sure. And from what I've actually seen, I really love on what they actually did for sure. They really made the action a ton of fun for sure, which I guess if anything is, of course, one of the main standouts like in the previous installments for sure. And I'm really glad all that is carried over into, of course, this film for sure. So yeah. That's pretty much what I can say for the action for sure. Now as for the visuals and the effects for sure, that too alone needs no introduction by far. I really love on what they actually did to make the visuals and the effects look amazing for sure. And this by far is of course a massive step up for sure. And they're truly on their A-game for sure. They really made the visuals and the effects look amazing for sure. And the way pretty much Sonic and the others are designed and everything for sure, I'm still glad the redesign that we got in the first film is still carried over in, of course, the later installments for sure. They're still outstanding by far, and they definitely do look like they're pulled straight out of the original video games for sure. And I really love on what they actually did to make it all the more amazing for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say for the visuals and the effects for sure. So yeah. That's pretty much what I can say on that hand. And of course, the direction of this film, done by, once again, Jeff Fowler, who directed the previous movies for sure. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind, Jeff Fowler has, of course, is still on his A-game directing these movies for sure. In fact, if anything, I think this is probably the most amount of effort he actually put into, of course, really make this movie great for sure. And yeah, I guess if anything, I really do applaud, of course, on what he actually did to make this movie great. And he definitely delivered on that very well for sure. So yeah, and of course, the cinematography is really done well with some really great camera shots that I do think work well for sure and actually matches perfectly with pretty much everything that goes on for sure. And of course, the editing is cut perfectly with some not only great cuts here and there, but also some perfect timing as well, which that alone actually is quite amazing. And oh yeah, even the tone and the pacing for sure, I really do think is, of course, nicely done for sure, and I really do admire, of course, on what they actually did, and it actually matches well with everything that goes on for sure. So yeah, those are pretty much what I can say, of course, that front for sure, and yeah, I could go on and on about all that, but I guess if anything, I think it would actually show on how much this movie really knows the hang. It really wants to give us something great, and yeah, it delivered on that for sure. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alrighty then, so yeah, I guess with all that said and done, that's pretty much everything that I can say about this movie for sure. So yeah, overall, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is of course an outstanding and yet marvelous movie that we actually got for sure, and with of course everything that I've actually seen, I really enjoyed every minute of it for sure. But I guess that would lead to the ultimate question: do I think this is definitely the best of the Sonic the Hedgehog movies that we actually got? Well, I guess it's safe to say, in my opinion, yes. So yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I still love the other two movies for sure. In fact, if anything, I know I definitely still enjoyed Sonic 2 by far, which I guess if anything is of course a massive step up compared to the first film for sure, and of course, if anything, is of course what I would imagine for a Sonic the Hedgehog movie for sure. But this one is of course much like Sonic 2, but again, if you multiply that by 10 for sure. So yeah, I guess if anything, this is by far, I think, a great follow-up by far, and with everything that I've actually seen on screen, I think they really did an impressive job with what they actually did in not only following through on, of course, the previous installments that came before, but also pretty much stay true to the original video games for sure. Just have the love and the feeling, of course, the spirit of course, the games, and of course, even the look, and of course, pretty much the love and the emotion that we usually get when we play these games for sure, and actually see them on screen for sure, and yeah, and I guess if anything, this movie really did deliver on that, and I definitely know it is definitely what a movie based on, pretty much I definitely know is what a movie based on a video game is supposed to do. I'm looking at you, Borderlands, So yeah, I guess for what it is, I really enjoyed the hell out of course, this movie for sure. Yeah, in fact, if anything, I really do think this is definitely the best one by far for sure. Yeah, it's everything that I love about the previous installments, but actually amped up a whole lot more to make it even more fantastic for sure. And for that, I really do think this is one movie that I highly recommend for sure. So yeah, I guess if you're in for something really great that will get you pumped up all the way, I say this movie is definitely well worth checking out by far for sure. Yeah, trust me when I say that I guess if anything, I think you're going to be in for something really great, of course, this one. And Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is not only a really good film, much like its predecessors, but by far, it's a great one for what it is. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, for my final score, yeah, I'm very happy to say this. I think this movie actually, pretty much, out of all the previous Sonic movies that I've talked about before, I think this film is probably going to get the highest score I can actually give to all these movies. That being, of course, a very outstanding 9 out of 10. So yeah, I can agree with a lot of people in saying that this is definitely the best one by far for sure, and it is for a good reason in its entirety. I really enjoyed every minute of it for sure, and of course those and I guess if anything, this one really took everything that I love about the previous films, but really bring it to a whole new level for sure. I really love on what they actually did. And I guess for that, I'm really excited to see on where they'll actually go next for sure. In fact, currently as of now, they have officially confirmed Sonic the Hedgehog 4 is officially on its way for sure, but won't be out until 2027 as we speak. So I guess if anything, I'm quite curious to see on where they'll actually go next, seeing how that film has already been confirmed for sure, because if anything, I do want to see I do want to see the Sonic the Hedgehog movies continue to grow and evolve for sure, and actually try to do something new and creative while actually staying true to the original games for sure, So yeah, and I do want them to keep on going with that right up until they'll finally pretty much, yeah, right up until the day the movies will officially come to an end, and they'll release one last movie to conclude things off on a high note for sure, so yeah. I guess if anything, I do know I always look forward to those hands out, and I do want to see them continue on with it with some nice new ideas they want to throw in right up until the series will officially come to an end for sure. But until that day comes for sure, we still got all the other movies, plus the Knuckles spin-off series pretty much that we got in the meantime for sure. So yeah, and I guess for what it is, I definitely know hands down that when it comes to this movie for sure, I think you're going to be in for something really great in its entirety, and I still highly recommend it for sure. So yeah, trust me when I say you're going to be in for something that would give you something that is, in fact, in my opinion, the best Sonic the Hedgehog movie of all time. And that is definitely what I can say on, of course, that front. So yeah. Yeah, that feels good. Alrighty then, so yeah, with all that said and done, that's pretty much everything that I can say for, of course, this movie, so yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and by all means, I want to ask all of you guys, what do you think of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 if you've actually seen it? Do you absolutely really enjoyed it and think it's the best of course, the Sonic movies that we got so far? Or do you absolutely hate it and think it's just absolute garbage all the way? Again, looking at you, Borderlands. Or are you somewhere in between where you think it's actually alright? So yeah, let me know what you thought of this movie down in the comments down below. I would love to know what you guys think, so yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front, and well, almost done. We're almost done. Just one more movie for me to talk about for sure, So yeah, looks like we got one more movie to officially talk about for sure, and I guess a lot of you guys may be wondering, what am I going to talk about next to officially wrap things up? Well, I think we might as well return to Disney once again with their latest film that just came out, and somehow discover a pretty much a surprising, interesting origin story on, of course, a certain Lion King for sure. If you somehow know exactly what I'm talking about based on, of course, that little hint, that will give you the idea, of course, what I'm going to be talking about next. So yeah, but I guess until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Yeah, I've decided to record this bonus at the end for sure because, well, looks like I'm going to be keeping this mug. Yeah, I'm definitely keeping this cup for sure. I actually really do love this for sure because of how great this actually looks. And moreover, this nice little Sonic figure that pretty much comes with it. Actually comes off of the cup really good alongside the base for sure, so that way I can actually pretty much keep this as a nice little figure for sure. Yeah, I guess that is probably for a good reason for sure, so yeah, I think it's what I can say, of course, that front, so yeah. I'll definitely end it here. Alright, yeah, I'll definitely see you guys in the next video. Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/AckleyattackTV to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427'The Productions for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and plenty more in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/AckleyattackTV/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.